The US has a money problem, and it's not the one that you think. This is the situation. Back in 1976, everyone agreed, including the Supreme Court, that bribing government officials was bad. So we gave the government the power to regulate any activity that could have a risk of corrupting our political system. For example, we created a law that set a cap of $3,000 on the amount of money any person could donate to a candidate's campaign. The idea is that no candidate is going to sell out for a bribe that's only $3,000, so donations under that amount do not have a risk of corruption. But some big investors came up with a workaround. They said, what if we establish an organization called a Political Action Committee, or PAC for short? Funnel lots of money into that PAC, and then have the PAC do things to promote a candidate like make posters, create ads, and organize rallies. Investors started donating so much money into some PACs that people started calling them super PACs. Why would an investor want to donate to a PAC? Imagine this scenario. An investor works out a deal with a candidate for public office where the investor promises to donate a bunch of money to a PAC that is going to promote the candidate's campaign, so long as the candidate promises to make policy decisions that favor that investor once they're in office. The only difference between that scenario and a bribe made directly to their campaign would be the PAC serving as a sort of middleman. Some states didn't like this picture, because remember, we already all agreed bribes were bad. So they started trying to pass laws to prevent it. The investors didn't appreciate that, so they sued. The Supreme Court got involved again, and they ruled that PACs should be able to donate as much money as they want to promote a candidate's campaign, so long as they don't directly coordinate with the candidate. The court didn't say anything, though, about whether the amount that can be donated to a PAC should be restricted or not. Some states realized this and tried to pass laws to limit the amount of money that can be donated to PACs and prevent them from becoming super PACs. If the PACs were only allowed to receive limited donations, then it wouldn't matter as much that they could spend an unlimited amount on campaigns. They can't spend as much if they don't have as much to spend in the first place. Once again, investors objected to this intervention from the states and sued. A court, not the Supreme Court, but a slightly lower federal court, ruled that a donation to a PAC had no risk of corruption, so long as the PAC did not coordinate with the candidate. So it was totally legal to donate as much as you wanted to a PAC. But remember the picture we painted earlier. What if the investor coordinates with the candidate? Meaning the investor goes to the candidate and says, hey, I'll donate a bunch of money to this PAC that's going to promote your campaign, so long as you promise me some favors. That sounds pretty possible, right? In fact, it's so possible that a senator was accused of doing exactly this in 2018. The senator got acquitted because of a mistrial, but the allegations alone were credible enough to support the idea that there's at least a risk of this sort of middleman corruption happening. And remember, the Supreme Court decided a long time ago to give the government the power to regulate any activity that could have a risk of corrupting our political system. Having laws that prohibit direct campaign contributions greater than $3,000, but allowing PAC donations of more than $1 million, oftentimes much more, seems inconsistent, to say the least, because it's clear that both can be used to facilitate corrupt agreements. In short, the lower court made a mistake. They missed that their ruling totally overlooks a very possible type of corruption, and as a result, that type of corruption has run rampant in our political system, allowing the 1% to conduct some seriously shady business without any impartial authority to keep them in check. It's time for the 99% to get loud and get this loophole in our system patched.